saw a volcano for the first time in my life. That was cool. Wave hi. So we're learning Swahili. This is our lesson for the day. We're actually doing pretty well, might I add.
I agree.
Okay.
Are you gonna start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Salamu.
I'm embarrassed now. Salamu.
Too Greek.
Oh.
Hujambo.
Si Jumbo.
Hujambo. What else can I ask you? Habari yaku.
Mzuri sana.
You have a lot of songs.
Which one do you want?
Hello, good morning. So I literally slept 0 last night. I got no sleep. But you know what?
Bunny. I made a bunny.
You made a bunny?
Really doing it.
That's a beautiful bunny.
A monkey? Yeah, I want to see a monkey. So after breakfast, we're gonna head to the shelter and I'll see you guys there. So right now I'm just kind of walking around, taking pictures, getting footage and stuff. It's hot now. Today's a nice day. They're playing football. She said, Kristen said it was okay to take pictures and stuff. So I'm going to show y'all. But yeah, the community here is impeccable, and the staff's dedication to the kids is something that, you know, is very noteworthy. But yeah, there's a killer view. I took a picture of it, but maybe I can flip y'all around and show y'all the view. It's beautiful out here. On the way up here, my head felt like it was about to bust. How far did she say we were up? She said like 7,000? Probably more than that. We're probably. So today was a great day. I was very excited to visit the shelter. That was a great experience. Very humbling, but also kind of rewarding. As soon as I got there, the kids were, you know, all over me. A couple even told me, you know, I'm black and I belong with them. So that kind of made me feel good, especially me knowing the emotional connection and also the ancestral connection that my people share, and the experience, the traumatic experience that, you know, we relate to here. So that was very rewarding. One thing I will note is that the shelter is doing good work over there. The shelter is doing great work over there, and that's just a testament to the staff. I don't know if I said this before, but in the U.S., I feel that feeding the homeless with like community service, even through school, or just visiting shelters, either through like Jack and Jill, which I did like once or twice, or even just through my school, I feel that you can always, in my experience at least, in the United States, I feel like you can always see like the trauma or the struggle that that person is going through, like on the outside. You know, I feel like it shows. Here at this shelter, them kids don't worry about nothing but going to play football. Like, you can't see anything that like they've been through. It doesn't show on the outside. Now I know it may fester or, you know, kind of take over on the inside, but on the outside, it doesn't show. And I feel like the shelter is doing a really good job of providing a happy space and a happy place for, you know, kids to be kids, because they're kids. And I just think about, I have 2 younger sisters, and I just think about, I can't imagine my younger sisters, you know, kind of living and being on the street. I can't even imagine myself living and being on the street. And the youngest at the shelter is 7 years old. So it's a lot to take in, and I haven't even started yet. Today was just like meet and greet and just tour the shelter. So I'm very excited. I have a lot of work to do. But yeah. I also got no sleep last night, y'all. None, zero, zilch. I could not go to sleep. I took melatonin, and I don't know, like, I just could not go to sleep at all. I think I finally started to drift off around like 4:30, but we had to be up at like 5:30, so I really didn't like sleep at all. So tonight it's 8:42. Saturday, May 11th, it's 8:42. And as soon as I get out the shower, I'm probably going to put on a movie and I'm going to bed. I might read a little and I'm going to bed. So I'm in the garden right now, and he just told us that their garden is all organic, all natural, no pesticides, no fertilizer, none of that. So everything that we've been eating at the shelter has been fully organic. That is so good, better than America. So I'm apologizing because it's been a minute since I like vlogged and said anything to the camera. I don't know really what I'm gonna title this YouTube video, but I was sick for like 2 days with a mean sore throat. It was so bad. But I'm back now, and we've been at shelter full time. I have some video footage from yesterday, maybe that I can put into this video to kind of explain what we were doing. I have a lot to debrief with you guys. I don't know if I would do it here at the coffee shop because I don't really want to talk too loud, but we've seen a lot, we learned a lot, we ate some really good food. Yeah, but I'm enjoying my time here. Yeah. So I'm really not supposed to be recording it here, but it was requested to show what a Kenyan grocery store looks like. Excuse me, Sawa. The eggs are not in the freezer aisle. They have the good ramen noodles. Are you kidding? Okay, what's up, y'all? So I'm back home, and I know that I said I was gonna explain to you guys, you know, what all went down. Because the videos the timeline in this video is so messed up. Remember I told you for like 2 days I was down bad with the worst sore throat, y'all. Like I was brushing my teeth and I felt like my tongue could barely flip back in my mouth. That's how bad my throat was hurting. But So I kind of want to start off with who or what the shelter Year 2 is doing and why it's so important. So I'm going to start there first. So the shelter Year 2 is a rehabilitation center, basically, in a sense. Because I think I mentioned it before, Kenya is doing away with orphanages and children's homes and shelters and moving towards family-based care. And so what they're doing at that shelter is really amazing, I must tell you. So the program is kind of broken up into 4 sections. You have rescue, rehabilitate, empower, reintegrate. I believe those are the 4. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it and I'll put like a note or something like that. But the rescue portion is what we were going to do the day before. I believe that was yesterday. Well, from when I'm recording this video, it was like 2 days ago. But and I'll insert videos. But we were on a rescue mission. So basically, they have staff that go to the streets every day. It's their job. The staff stays on the streets every day and looks for street boys. And now you might be asking, why are there so many kids on the street? In Kenya, the population of children on the street is so high. I'll look it up and put it on here because I can't remember the number, but it's really high. And so they stay on the streets and they look for kids to rescue. And so kids are on the street because of poverty is always the underlying. Poverty is always the factor, but then it's poverty plus something. So in the cases that I've seen, it's been poverty plus verbal abuse, poverty plus sexual abuse, poverty plus, parents aren't home, or poverty plus alcoholic and drug addicted parents, or poverty plus, the kid doesn't want to follow the rules, or poverty plus the parents are strict, or poverty plus, parents can't afford to pay for the school fees. So the parent, because that's a common thing here. When parents can't afford to pay for things, they'll send the children to the streets to beg for money, especially the younger ones, because when you're cute and you're young, you can beg people for money and people will give you money because you're cute. And there's not going to be a lot of footage on the rescue portion because out of the respect for the boys and their dignity, I didn't want to record. None of us recorded, actually. I didn't want to record. And so the times that I did record, it was very little. And it was kind of, under wraps, because also where we were in Kenya, I was told by the shelter staff that if I have loose things, then people will just walk by and just grab them. But I feel like that's just anywhere somebody can steal your stuff, not just in Kenya. That can happen anywhere. But anyways, so it's really sad, honestly. But one thing I will say is there are children on the street everywhere. There's poverty on the street everywhere. And I feel like it'll be shocking to you if you've never seen anything like this before. So, for example, I've never personally been raised in the hood, but my parents was raised in the hood, both of them. I have family that stays in the hood. So, and they make sure I'm very well connected to where they come from and to where my family and, all that stuff, whatever. So, I can ride down the streets and see the same thing that I just saw over here. I can ride down the streets of Atlanta and see the same things that I just seen here. But the only reason why I'm focusing on it is because this is where I am right now, and this is a problem that is plaguing their community. I've even heard that the government hates street kids so much that they would you can look this up. The government will at night drive, pick the street kids up, and make it seem like as if they're going to help them, take them somewhere in the forest and drop them off, leave them there, drop them off and drive off, just to bring down the population of street kids. It's really sad. So what the shelter Year 2 is doing is they're saving the street kids. So what they do is they visit the streets and they find boys that are serious and want to get off the streets and change their lives. And it doesn't happen overnight. There's a long process before the kids can be taken to shelter because the staff needs to make sure that they are serious and they want to change their lives. So I think it takes about 3 weeks before the child is taken off the streets and brought to the shelter. But basically the staff, what the mission that we were on yesterday is talking to street kids. So I heard a lot of sad stories yesterday. I wanted to focus on giving you guys more background information on the shelter yet too, because I know you guys are probably like, so what do they do? So they rescue, rehabilitate, empower, and reintegrate. Those 4 things. I think I said that already. And so because Kenya is doing away with orphanages and children's home and moving towards, family-based care, which they're kind of rewiring the things that were done to them during the colonial era or colonization. I have a problem saying that word, because what I found out is shelters and orphanages are a Western European thing. They're a Western European thing. I believe the first shelter was somewhere in, let me look it up so I don't get it wrong, but it was somewhere in Europe. Then they came over and they bought that way of thinking over here, because traditionally Africans value family. So because they're moving away from children's shelter and into family-based care, the work has to happen within the home. So once the staff members take the child off the streets and into the rehabilitation center, because that's what it is essentially, that's when the change happens. The boys, because they're so used to being able to do what they want to do on the streets, the first thing that they have to be taught is discipline. When I tell y'all, they are very disciplined in this shelter, and every day is the same, even down to what they eat. They have the same breakfast, lunch, and dinner schedule throughout the week. Like, it's the same. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the shelter Yetu is strictly a boys' shelter. Girls on the street is also very common, and also the rate of girls on the street is very high. I'm not sure if it's as high as boys, but it's also very high. But the reason that they focus on boys is because girls have a little bit more options. Both are bad, but girls kind of have a little bit, more room. So if a girl is on the street, she can either get married and inherit money or inherit a place to stay or whatever like that, or she can use the skills that she naturally has, to clean somebody's house or fold up somebody's clothes or take care of somebody's child. So girls have a little bit more options when it comes to getting money and stuff like that. But boys, their options are kind of, slim. Most of the times when I learned this, the parents send the kids to the streets in order to beg for money. I don't know if I said this already, but especially the little ones, because if you're little and mom doesn't have the money, she'll send you to the streets to beg, because most of the time when you're little and you're small and you're cute, people will give you money. However, statistics show that once a child is on the streets and experiences that freedom, most of the time when the parent sends them to the streets, they don't ever return. But what I love about the shelter Yetu is the fact that they really take family-based care serious. So if the child ran away from home because the mom is alcoholic or drug addict or dad or whatever, or is being abused or is too strict, the shelter also offers trainings for parents. So if the mom really doesn't understand why the child feels the way he does or whatever, or the mom is struggling with alcoholism, this shelter will help. Will sponsor her, if school fees are a problem, the shelter will add her as a beneficiary. She'll be a beneficiary and she'll receive money every month, and they'll help her start a business, or the money will go towards the kids' school fees or food. If the mom is struggling with alcoholism and addiction, the shelter will help parents through those things as well. So they really take family-based care serious to make sure when the child is placed back into the home, everything is all well. And it doesn't stop there. After a child is placed back into the home, I believe they said home visits occur, I think every week, every 2 weeks for a long time. So they don't just drop the kid off home and then that's it. They check in. Or the best thing for a child is to thrive at home. And if home is a problem, let's fix the home, you know? And I kind of agree with that, especially the trauma that they have with orphanages and just things that have happened regarding, you know, orphan care and orphan leaders and stuff like that. Statistics also state that children end up worse when they're in a shelter or in a home. Even when they leave the shelter in the home, they're like damaged as opposed to being within their own family. And I can see that. I really do see that. I've heard cases since I've been here where orphan leaders abuse the kids or force the kids to do street work or sexually abuse or sexually exploit the kids, or even just treat the kids so poorly and don't give the funding that they receive from donors to the kids but keep the money themselves. So I think the shelter is doing really good work. And because this is an all-boys shelter, most of the staff are men. And I feel like that's really powerful because a father-like figure is what a lot of them need. Is what a lot of them need. And I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, the community. Like, it feels like home. It feels like home. Because those kids on the street know the street workers. They know the street workers. They love the street workers. They trust them. Like the fact that these boys, we sat down, we bought them lunch, and they just poured out and told us their stories because they want help. A lot of them want help. A lot of them don't want to be on the streets, especially the younger ones. Because if you didn't know, which I didn't know, there's a kingdom for protection and for the street kids as well. So you have grown men, and I'm talking about grown men, some even teachers. Then you have older boys, probably like 18, you know, the teenage area, and then you have the young ones. And as a young boy, you need protection, especially when it's dark outside. You need protection. So who do you look for to protect you? The older boys. But then, like I said, there's a kingdom. So it's like, if I protect you, what are you going to do for me in return? Are you going to steal drugs from me? Are you going to steal somebody's money from me? Are you going to let me sexually abuse you? Like, are you going to steal out the store? Like, there's things that you have to do in order to have protection. And so these kids are raped. They're forced to do things that they don't want to do just for protection. And the older boys that need protection are often taken advantage of by grown men in the community. And like I said, this can happen anywhere. I'm almost positive this happens some of everywhere. There's just not enough light shed on it. And I think that's my job. Even though this happens everywhere, I'm here in Kenya now, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And it also forces you to put other people's lives in perspective, especially how our government is treating homeless people now. Like, ask yourself why they're homeless before you start judging. Ask yourself why. Especially if they're younger people. Ask yourself why they're homeless and what their life may have been like. And it's a funny thing to put in perspective, but compared to what some of these kids go through at home, the streets may seem like a better option. So it's just something to think about. If you have any questions, I hope I explained this well. If you have any questions you want me to go into detail, or if there is a certain thing you would like to see, just put it in the comments, and I'll even make a video about it and sit down and explain more. But yeah, insert the videos, and just remember there's not a lot of footage, and if some of the footage is kind of like horrible, it's only because, you know, in that area of Kenya, it was said that, you know, we have loose items. People can just run by and just take our things, which that can happen anywhere. People can steal from you anywhere, but that's just what, you know, our guides told us. So I was trying to be discreet with a lot of my recording, plus kind of trying to keep the dignity of some of the kids on the street. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The next one will kind of be tough. Yesterday was a tough day. But the next video, yeah. So just stay tuned. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Chelsea Checking In and at Leah _. And stay connected. And if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to comment. And let's change the world one perspective at a time. I hope each and every one of you guys, I pray each and every one of you guys are having a great day. Wherever you are. I pray that you decide to wake up and love your neighbor, love yourself, love your community, and value everything that God is giving you, because somebody may just need what you have. So with all that said,